Your intro to VTubers was Amelie? Really? Okay. Okay. My intro to VTubers was, I don't remember. I genuinely, I don't remember who it was. I remember being on YouTube and seeing a clip of someone playing a game, and they were a VTuber, and I was like, what is that? Is this a live stream? It was like really early on. This was like 2018 or something. And I was like, what? Is that a streamer? And I looked into that person and found that it was like, it was a streamer, it was live. And I went, oh my God, that's cool. Because I was interested in the tech. I thought it was neat. And then I started watching those clips. And this was at a time when there weren't really many Western VTubers. It was just ones from like Japan, and they were being translated over. They weren't doing any English content for the most part. And then sometime after that, I think in 2020, that was like the Corona Clips era, right? When everyone started finding like her and all of that. And that's when, also in that year, was when a lot of Western VTubers started out. Not a lot, but the early ones started out, except for like the few stragglers that were there earlier than that. Yeah, it was just a long time ago. Now that I think about it, that was a long time ago. The first one you knew of was Mel. First one a lot of people knew of was Mel, because she had, here, I'm gonna take that off. She had a lot of content, articles, etc. made about her, because her doing the thing that she was doing her style of adult content with a model was like unheard of. And I remember some people were they were like, oh my God, is this the future? And then they were like scared. You know? Yeah, she got banned once because of a copyright claim, and then like after that, never. I want to say that too. One of the biggest, if not the biggest VTuber in like the lewd space. And she just has never been banned for anything else. Nothing related to that kind of content or like, you know, the outfits, whatever. I think it's quite impressive, quite impressive. You saw a lot of singers becoming VTubers? Yeah, I think that was a big transition period. A lot of people that either cosplayed or were singing on YouTube transferred over, for sure. You watched Fauna, then Geary, then you were in the Twitch hole. Yeah. Yeah, Geary's brought a lot of people here, I've noticed. Because of collabs and stuff that she's done. Very much. Very much. Junior provoked your curiosity with her early Eldritch model.
Good evening, my beautiful chat.
Yeah, I liked, I think she really pushed forward the idea of a lot of people making some of their own stuff. And she's like super anal about it, right? Like of doing her own models and all that. And it's something that definitely people liked. And that was literally like, you don't need anything crazy. You just need one thing that people can know you for. And that was her thing, right? It was that she made her own models from scratch. She did the art and the rig because she's crazy. And it was a cool selling point. It was a really cool selling point. Zen was the first one you followed regularly on Twitch. I think the first one I watched regularly on Twitch, unironically, was Joel. It was Joel. He was around for a really long time. I remember back then there were not many, and this is like 2018, 2019. Joel, Zen, Mouse were the ones I remember like seeing often, and there weren't really a lot of others that were around. There's some still that were on Twitch, but like those are the ones I remember seeing. And there were more that showed up later, but not many people were streaming as VTubers during or before 2020. Like really not many. A lot of them don't stream anymore. So at that time, I don't know, I just remember like following him, and back then the word VTuber didn't even exist. I don't remember when people started using it. I think it might have been 2020, at least in the West, I mean. But the word VTuber wasn't used for what we think of as VTubers now. And and Rose Doodle. Rose was around at that time too. And Joel and Rose were like, they found each other and they were like, oh my God, you do the model thing. Oh my God, you do the model thing too. And they would just say that they had anime girlitis when people would come into chat and be like, what is this? Because they'd never seen it. They'd be like, I have anime girlitis. It's so sad. And that was their whole shtick, because they didn't have the word VTuber in like the West yet. And that was the whole thing. Or they might not have had it in general. I don't remember when the term was coined, but that was their whole thing. That was funny. Oh, that was really funny. It was Mouse for you many years ago. You're also chronically ill, so she made it okay for you to try again. Yeah. I think there's a good number of people that found her early on from that kind of stuff. For sure. I've heard that a lot. Yeah. Didn't realize Rose has been streaming that long. Rose has been around for a really long time. Rose is part of the old guard. Rose, Joel. I'm trying to think of the ones that are still very active. Mouse, Zen. A good number of people that they don't do the normal VTuber thing. They're mostly still just in VR chat, but a lot of folks from VR chat. Buff was around, Yen was around. I'm saying as a VTuber with a model though, you know? Like who had a model before 2020? 2019 and prior. Really not many. That was an interesting time. Yeah, Lime's changed over to it. She did. So there were a lot of people that had content that they were doing before, but they weren't all actually using models at the time, right? You watched Miko? Yeah, Miko put a lot of attention on it. She's still very like disconnected from this side of the VTubing community. Like, everyone knows of her, but she really focuses on other stuff. You watched Shoto early on? Yeah, I did too. He was a PNG and he played League and Herbs all the time. And I would just be playing League on like my main monitor. And I'd be watching. But he was friends with a couple of people that I became friends with early on when I was like first pulled into like a Discord server and stuff. So you know, I was just like, oh, this is a friend of my friend, I'll watch them. You know? Yeah, before I watched Zen too when she was writing on a notepad. She would have it above her head or like behind her head on screen. I remember that. It was forever ago. You stole magnesium from your secondary school with the intent to play with it? Oh my god.